been a while, dummy. You're doing well.
It's has to be excellent and above, right?
Uh,
Mine's excellent. Yeah.
medium or better. You're fine. Feel free to go
Yeah,
on.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Hello.
I E E U N D E A D S E E E. Um, my, you know,
Hello there.
my, two. He knows. He,
Hello, hello.
he has to change, doesn't he?
Who? Oh, them? Yeah.
The the shattered guy, this guy.
Yeah. Could I ask you to change into a medium or better model? There are some over here if you need them.
Sorry about that. Is it okay now?
It is okay. You're fine. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Farron. Could I ask you
Hello.
to be in a medium or a better model? There are some over there if you need it. Uh, hello, Jenna. Uh, could I ask you to be in a medium or better? Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. You're free to come on in if you want to.
I got in.
Hello, welcome. Feel free to come on in. Hello, Santa Dog. Could I ask you to change into a medium or better model? There are some models over here if you need them. Hello, welcome everyone. Feel free to come on in.
Hello.
Boy managed to get in. There you go.
Gonna have to like change it so that I have it to like press to talk or
You can
something.
find a spot over there. You can go up there on top. Either one's fine.
I don't think
You
you
know
can
what?
freely
I'm gonna
talk.
Excuse me, Violium and Cactusito. Would you please be as kind, because when you move, your avatars make sounds. Would you please change into avatar that
Hello
doesn't
there.
have audio on them? It
Could I
would
ask
disrupt
you
the
to
stream.
into a
I'm very sorry
medium
for this
or better model?
inconvenience. Thank you for understanding.
There are some over here if you need them.
I don't see a sound setting.
If you don't have
Yeah,
any,
no problem.
remember there are like prepared avatars right here. They are quest compatible and they are ASL ready.
See if this one's alright.
Yeah, same thing. Change avatars to medium or better.
Yes, sure.
Alright,
Or
we
if you
highly
come up here.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, totally understandable. Totally understandable.
That is perfect.
I didn't even realise it made noise. I've had avatars and
No problem.
noises turned off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good to see you, Anya.
Good to see you too, Pete.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember you from last week, Jenny's class.
Yeah.
The poster over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sky King gave that to me. Yeah, he gave that to me like January, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, Elliot.
It was like I think it was the first poster up.
Oh yeah.
It seems like
It was like right
seems
after
like my friend didn't get in.
got in contact with as soon as the first
Yeah,
trailer came up.
He got on the bandwagon pretty quick. Very thankful. Yeah. Well, Doc, I'm gonna sit down.
Okay.
Hello, welcome. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Feel free to come on in. Hello.
Hello.
I'm not taking any chances.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Feel free to come on in. Hello. Ooh, that's a cool model. Oh, it's very poor. Could I ask you to change it to a medium or better model? Hello, hello. Feel free to come on in. I'm sorry, it needs to be medium or better, your model. If you don't have one, there are some over here. Hello.
Okay, sorry.
Did that guy just disappear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's a mirror anywhere?
If there's a mirror,
Mirror. This way. Back over here. Oh, got it. You follow up your list.
Here, press the button.
Hello, hello.
You made it. You made it.
Yes, I made it. Hello.
I'm not being funny, but it sounds like it's almost forbidden.
What's that?
I'm getting to an avatar that I can take pictures with.
I didn't quite get what you said.
It's alright.
Oh, my arm still hurts.
I'm like putting my volume to 0 because I don't know how else to do
Can
it.
somebody say that I'm here for taking pictures for VRCon?
Okay, Fearless. We will close down the instance. Yeah, free to start whenever.
Okay. Yeah, we still
Alrighty.
need everyone to use optimized avatars though, medium or better, just to prevent crashing.
All right.
Poor performance.
All right. Yeah, if they want, that's fine. I could do that. Hey, Peach. I just won't be able to take the pictures I've been taking. That's all.
Do you want to use our camera?
What camera is that?
I'll DM you.
Medium. That says medium.
Yeah, as long as it's a medium. Is it VRC lens?
What?
Yeah, it's VRC lens, but it's a local avatar.
I have to make one, sadly.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our event here at VRCon. We're pretty happy and grateful to have an opportunity to kind of inform you guys about deaf culture. Today we got Crow here. He's going to be doing a culture talk, talking about the do's, the don'ts, the ins and the outs. Pretty much the generalization of like just how deaf culture works. Over there towards the front, if you haven't already, there's avatars for optimization and whatnot. Like medium good, excellent, that's all good. See here. During the talk, I would like to have everybody just use just mics off, no talking. That way, for our interpreters over here, as you can see, Shade or Coda Pop, that way they can do their job and everything, and everybody around you is able to properly take in the information and everything. So now, after that is all said and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and give the microphone to Crow here, and he'll take the way.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Crow7. I'm here from Helping Hands community in VR chat. We have 2 ASL interpreters with us today. They're going to be interpreting for us. First, we have Shade. He is a real-life certified interpreter. And then we have Coda Pop. He is a Coda, child of deaf adults, a certified interpreter, and teaches his own students in real life. Real quick, Coda, CODA, means a child of deaf adults. It's a hearing person who has deaf parents. So for your information, both interpreters are not professional VR interpreters. They are not being paid by VR Chat or Helping Hands. They're here as volunteers from Helping Hands. Please be patient and give them time to translate. Thank you for understanding. So I was told this event would last up to an hour, so I'll try my best to finish quickly. So before we actually begin the presentation, I want to go ahead and break the ice. We're going to do a quick, short little questionnaire for you. You're just simply going to raise your hand or not raise your hand. Of course, there's no right or wrong answers. So raise your hand if you are part of any community in real life. Like, for example, I'm part of the Asian community, and I'm also part of the deaf community. So if you're a part of any sort of community, raise your hand.
Asian community.
Oh, Asian community, sorry. All right. If you're a part of the Black community, raise your hand. Okay, hands down. If you are a part of the LGBT plus community, raise your hand. Okay. So, last little question. Does your community have its own unique culture? Okay, hands down. Last question. Do you think it's important for you to know and understand the culture that comes from those different communities? Good. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So this presentation focuses on deaf culture because this month, September, is actually Deaf Awareness Month. It's perfect for me to explain about deaf culture today. I am fully deaf myself. I was born hearing, but I got very sick, got an ear infection, and it caused my hearing to go away, and I became deaf. I do use hearing aids on both ears, though. We're going to learn a little bit about how to interact with deaf people today, like specific do's and don'ts. It's very important. So what should you do if you approach a deaf person in real life for the first time? Of course, you can use your phone, pull it out and type on it to communicate back and forth. You can also use pen and paper to write back and forth. You can also use gestures. Now, understand, not everybody can read lips. That's not really the best option to communicate with deaf people. I want to share a little anecdote about my experience with hearing people approaching me for the first time. Most of the time, they were scared and shocked and then ran away. I really wasn't sure why. They would be like, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. Can you tell me why?" There seems to be no reason for it. It happens to deaf people often. Just don't worry. Deaf people, you don't need to tell us sorry. We're still human. We're still people. There's no reason to be sorry for us. It happens to deaf people very often. Don't be overly concerned about it. Deaf people, we are human too. We are human beings, just like you. Wait. So
how do deaf people wake up? Good. Okay, let me start over. So how do deaf people wake up? They can't hear the alarm. Well, we have a specific kind of alarm clock that deaf people use, which vibrates. Deaf people can feel the vibration and wake up immediately. Another question, how do deaf people hear the doorbell? Well, there's a device that can flash a light on and off. How do deaf people hear a fire alarm? It's the same thing you see in buildings. There's a red box on the wall that flashes a bright light. Another question people have is, can deaf people drive? Really? Is that a question? Of course deaf people can drive. So sign language is a unique part of deaf culture and in the deaf community. It's very important to deaf people because it's their primary language that they use to communicate in their daily lives. Deaf people really want to protect sign language as it's a unique part of their own culture. Now I'm going to give you an example. All right, say you have a glass bottle. Imagine that bottle is a person with their own unique cultures. If you damage that bottle, or if you hurt that person's feelings and disrespect their communities, that bottle will begin to break. Now, once you realize your mistake, you can try to repair that bottle. But that damage will still be there. Similarly, by taking advantage and misrepresenting other people's cultures, it hurts them and their communities. Doing this tarnishes your own reputation as well. So each of you have the option to either protect that glass bottle or be a bottle breaker. So please just always remember to try and do the right thing, because after all, what goes around comes around. I think it's wonderful for you guys to have the opportunity to learn sign language and deaf culture. The purpose of learning sign language is knowing how to interact with deaf people. Deaf people are awesome. We play sports. Like, for me, I love volleyball. Deaf people can have jobs, can cook, can read books, write, dance, be in movies or TV shows, and so on and so on. There are so many things that deaf people can do, just like all of you guys. Deaf people can do everything, except here.
So if you guys are interested in learning about deaf people, the history, the culture, I highly recommend use Google. There's so many resources out there. Now, I would caution you to make sure that you're using resources made by deaf people. I'm sure you can also find a sign language class near your hometown or at your local college. I also highly encourage you here in VR to visit Mr. Dummy's Sign and Fun World. The best place in that world to go, in my opinion, is the museum. It's very informative and has everything, including deaf history. You can go there and be learning this information at the museum and play VR chat at the same time. There's also a portal room there to go to other sign worlds. You know, you can trust us deaf people to know what's best for you guys to learn. Like, we've been using sign language for a long time. We've been using the grammar, the body language, the facial expressions, the syntax, the deaf culture, the deaf people, the deaf community, all of the things, even more. Of course, you can use sign language resources on the internet, buy sign language books. But actual deaf people, probably the best source. Like, I've been using ASL for about 20 years, since when I was a baby. I'm basically living in two different worlds. I'm both in the hearing world and the deaf world. So I know what the difference is and how to mediate between the two. But word of caution, keep in mind, not all deaf people can teach sign language. It's all about fluency. As I said, I've been using ASL for over 20 years now. I've been using it my whole life. I have the knowledge of deaf culture, grammar, syntax, everything that I mentioned before. So you may ask yourself, well, why can't all deaf people teach? Why can't all deaf people do that? Remember, some people become deafened later in life. Like, for example, if I was hearing yesterday, became sick, and now I'm deaf, that doesn't mean that I can actually teach ASL. It's not how it works. You're not automatically qualified to teach ASL because you don't really have the full knowledge of ASL at that point. So who is a good person to go to learn sign language? Either deaf people who have been using sign language for a very long time, or actual teachers who have the certification. However, please do not treat deaf people like a dictionary. Don't expect them to know every single sign. For example, there are certain signs that it all means the same word, but there are different signs based on your region that you're in. Like, it's even here in the US, there's different signs depending on if you're on the East Coast or on the West Coast. It's the same for spoken accents. Like, people can say the exact same word and we speak the same language, but it sounds completely different.
So myself, I live on the East Coast of the United States. One of our other volunteers in Helping Hands, she lives over on the West Coast. Her name is Jenny, and she's hard of hearing. She's smart, and she knows deaf culture. We know the same signs and some different sign variations because of the regions we live, East and West Coast. We understand and respect each other and where we come from. We don't criticize each other. No one's either right or wrong. It just varies. Her class is a good option for people who want to come to a class and have a teacher that can use their voice. Most of our volunteers, including myself, don't speak very well. So for me, it's great that I have the opportunity to know more about signs from other areas, like the West Coast. Helping Hands is a community, which is a great place for you guys all to start and learn sign language together. We have authentic deaf people who know their native sign languages, which includes ASL, or American Sign Language. There's British Sign Language, Korean Sign Language, German Sign Language, and also French Sign Language. And Helping Hands is not just a community that you come and learn, but we also socialize. We explore different worlds. We watch movies together on Discord, have game events like Jackbox, and so much more. You can all join the Helping Hands Discord server. We have a link to it out front in our lobby. Lastly, I'm going to wrap up this presentation. I want to thank you all for coming today. I really hope you all learned something new from this presentation. Please don't forget to visit Mr. Dummy's Sign and Fun World. And I hope you all have fun at the VRCon events. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay. So one thing that we do at the very end of all of our events like this, like classes and whatnot, we'll go up in front of the Helping Hands logo, and we'll all just do one giant group picture. Just kind of have fun and hang out afterwards if you guys want to. It's all up to you guys. So let's go ahead and just crowd it forward. Alrighty, is everybody ready? All right. Alrighty. There we are. Now, if you want to stay here and hang out, you can ask questions to Crow or any one of our interpreters. You're more than welcome to. We also have Ray here. He can also answer any questions you guys may have. Just, have fun. Just question them away because they want to inform you guys.
For anyone who's interested, this room will show you more about the different kinds of sign languages from different countries. Over here on the other side, you can
I can't sign.
see and learn a little bit more about some of the members in Helping Hands.
No worries, it's fine. We all start somewhere.
IRL.
Yeah, feel free to look around.
Did you enjoy yourself from last
I want to ask a question to Crow if you can help.
Still waking up.
Yeah, I literally left like, well, my time was like 5:45.
I found that very
and
enlightening.
literally about half an hour later.
Yeah.
I
Go
saw
ahead.
the tweet from Johnny.
There's so much to learn. I'm
Yep.
so excited.
It's like, how the hell did
I think
miss
this
out
might
on
count
that?
towards I'm actually taking a class myself, so this might, and we were told that we should go to like deaf culture
Right, I
events.
can't
and
use
stuff.
my-
So, I don't know. I think this
Exactly.
might count.
I can't use my hands.
You mentioned how we should not a PPR ouch a deaf person, but I'm not 100% sure how to actually approach one.
Oh, this is Korean. Sorry. So this is all Korean, so it depends. If you want to learn ASL, American Sign Language is over there. This is Korean Sign Language.
Probably British. yeah, but
British Sign
yeah, but
Language is over
glad.
there.
Yeah, but glad is easy enough.
Even at the one
Did you
tomorrow.
enjoy it? Is it just the one finger?
Yeah, we have one tomorrow.
Nice.
The one tomorrow, we're gonna have American,
Breakout.
British, and French Sign Language. All the teachers kind of lined up at the
There we are.
podium, kind of like where Crow was earlier.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get us
Okay,
lessons
so if
1 through
you
2.
do see a deaf person in real life, you can use like your notes app on your phone and type back and forth with them.
I see.
You can also use a pen and paper to actually write back and forth with them. That's a really good way to communicate with deaf people when you first meet them.
Every language has its own culture that makes it different.
I gotcha. Yeah,
Right.
I'll try to attend. We have to get ready for our panel though. Like, it's gonna be a
Right.
big deal for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a press release.
Right.
Oh, and I was also wondering, are there big differences between ASL and BSL?
So you were thinking that they can read it and they can't.
So give this a shot.
Okay.
Yes. So some signs are the same in both languages, but there's a lot of signs that have like it's the same meaning, but BSL is completely different than ASL.
And then you.
How you doing, Kodak?
Most of the signs are completely different.
Nice.
You doing good?
I think "How are you" is one of the first signs that I actually learned in ASL.
Yep.
It's very
I learned it because of I learned it from the ASL, like the other ASL world, because like you come up to a robot that's literally.
That's good to know. Thank you for an awesome presentation.
Sure, you're welcome.
So instead of this for sign in BSL, it's the
The next event you guys are hosting is gonna be really late for the both of us, isn't it? Yeah. It's, 3 a.m. 3 a.m.
I'm gonna like grab all 3 of the avatars that they have here because all of them are probably really good for sign language. Otherwise, why else would they put them here?
Right now, showing you examples of the different sign languages. Right now, it's Korean Sign Language.
Okay.
What's in the other? What's actually? Wait, what was in the other one again? The other side of the building.
The other side of the building is like
Not building.
pretty much
So that-
community.
that in Korean Sign Language means
we have little posters
"How are you?"
about some of the community members. We also
Oh,
have
okay. I know
what else, like pictures
ASL.
from like
Well, no, I don't
like,
know
probably
ASL, but
2-3
that's where
years
I,
ago.
nice to meet
Just
you.
kind of data pictures of kind of like the roots of the community.
I see. Okay.
So that we have ASL, we have BSL, and Korean Sign Language.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
So that's ASL. How are you?
Sorry.
And British Sign Language. How are you? And then Korean Sign Language. How are you?
Ah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to do that earlier.
Alright,
So,
um, Oh, sorry. Do you want to see my world before I go to bed? Or do you want to stay here? Yeah? Wait. I'm probably going to go to bed, mate.
Just do it once, going from left to right.
For Miss
Ah.
Jenny's class. Jenny's, yeah.
Oh. I thought I saw 2 arrows.
What's the sign?
No, just one. Yeah, just one.
M. Same, yeah. So do you want to do it now or?
Nice is the other way.
Or you want to do the
Other way.
talk with them first? Okay.
Well,
no worries. That's fine.
There you go. Yep.
Alright.
To go right. Made it this far. So.
Really good world. And love the business.
Perfect.
Almost.
Yay!
It's if you watch Ray, you don't touch fingertips like this.
After.
Oh yeah, fingers up. Yeah.
You bring your palms together. Yeah, palms facing each other. You bring them together. Yeah. Like two people walking to each other.
Ah, right. Okay. God.
Who knew B6 would be?
Oh yeah, sorry.
We all start somewhere.
So
It's okay.
Yeah. I wish we could get that step, but I keep running on.
Confusing, but there as well.
There you can sign.
Oh, that's important. We've just done it in like. I don't know if they've done it before because.
When you say they're like
sure, you're very
ASL
welcome.
ready, what does that mean?
There's a lot of avatars that are just not really good for signing because of the hand gestures. Sometimes they will flip off. Sometimes their hand gestures are just weird. Or they have animations where like a staff will come into a hand or like a gun. Things like that. They don't have any of those. They changed the rock and roll hand into a Y hand. So it'll be, there's a lot of signs that use Y more than anything else.
Yeah. And that's like super useful when I only have an Oculus. Like as soon as you get like an index, maybe you can perhaps do more with more avatars. But when you're on like just Oculus, it's just or Quest rather.
Right. Yep. A lot of people say, "Oh, I can't do sign language because I do have Oculus." I'm like, no, that's not the case.
Always aware. Yeah.
You have 7 gestures. ASL has 40 hand shapes, and you'll be surprised what you can do to adapt to it. So like R, we would normally have these 2 fingers crossed, and to do that, to make up for it, we kind of like we do this. We do a twist motion on top of it, just to kind of show that that's an R. And then we also
sometimes I could. Sometimes Quest doesn't quite track it correctly, but yeah, get there eventually. Just practice, I guess. I think if I do it correctly, then the Quest will actually scan it. Twist it?
Let's see here.
What are these final ones?
He made like these over here are like desktop ready if you wanted to like talk to a deaf person. It has general like, let's see here. I haven't used one of these in a while. Loaded. Okay.
Thank you for.
Sorry, I can't see it yet.
You can say.
Right, we're good to go.
Like, how are you?
I was just being
The mocap is a little rough. It's not 100%, of course, but it can get the point across, and I think it actually puts a little
pen.
Some words up there. Oh yeah, that pen is for desktop users. That's why it's kind of like right there in front of my face and follows.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, you can do. Understand.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, I think the mocap's a little janky because it looks like it's just doing this handshake.
I think it looks better on our side than it does for you. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Because it should have done this for that meant like check.
It did.
For
I'm pretty
Discord.
sure it did.
more realistic.
Oh, okay.
If you check.
Tracking my fingers.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Start with what's familiar to you.
There you go. But yeah, I see. That's what those avatars are for.
See, if my fingers worked, I could do the alphabet, but it's
No, that's the
easy.
thing. Even if you have regular, like if you don't have index and you just have the standards, you can still sign here.
The most practical.
Is this world just open for everybody? Like, is it just a world that people can make instances in? Or?
Yes, this is a world that anybody can come into. This one it doesn't normally look like this. It's very.
Ray and Ray saying, before I had index, I felt I was limited in my finger motions. Just didn't match up with the signs. Eventually, I finally got an index, and it matches the signs better now.
Also, the
setting that you uploaded and perhaps even.
But it's still possible.
Signing's improved, yeah.
I had a friend
Right.
optimize it.
I see the difference. One's like for VRCon and one isn't. I see.
Yeah. The whole point of the one for VRCon was optimization and having avatars.
Jay is.
Generally just
I'm glad they are focusing on optimization.
Yeah, Jay.
Right. Yeah, there was one thing though I couldn't get to work.
I can't do K. Not the way I'm used to it.
Everything at the very front of the podium that was at the front of the classroom was just black, and you couldn't see any of the teachers. I was like, crap.
Could be the problem.
Standing up that whole time, and I'm not used to standing up for so long. Help.
Right. Yeah, I normally sit down, and I was like.
2 hours straight.
So like an event like this,
I know it's 1-3 than 2.
Yeah. I think I could have got away with setting it to
I need to be mobile to actually
right.
Because this avatar
just be like this.
he's not weird. Doesn't have a weird lighting.
Link. If you guys are interested in joining Helping Hands, it's over at
I noticed that a lot of A9 student avatars look different. Have you noticed that? Wait,
Right.
Oh, right here.
Right here.